Welcome back to Lamb School Noticings for the week of November 21st, 2016. I'm Mary Fran Matson, Professor and Head of the Brian Lamb School of Communication, and your host for Lamb School Noticings. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks, but we begin this episode with a look back at our 2016 presidential election viewing party, co-hosted with the Purdue Honors College, the Department of Political Science, and Pi Sigma Alpha. Over 400 students and guests attended the event, which included live productions of political commentary, interviews, and expert faculty and student panels. Purdue President Mitch Daniels stopped by the party as well and sat down for an interview with Lamb School senior Trevor Peters. As the night progressed, our guests enjoyed discussion, snacks, and refreshments while watching the returns roll in on screens around the Honors College. Couldn't join us for the election night? No worries. Pictures from the event and more can be found on our Facebook page. A huge thank you to everyone who helped make this event, one of our biggest, such a success. We look forward to doing it again in 2020. Several of our faculty, students, and staff traveled to Philadelphia last week for the annual National Communication Association Convention. We travel to NCA every year to discuss research, share best practices, and obtain feedback. The trip included our annual Purdue reception, graduate school open house, and 150 Lamb School student and faculty presentations. Additionally, visiting the city of brotherly love this close to the presidential election was exhilarating. Every year, the convention brings something new. It is truly a communal, participatory, and an exciting process to be a part of. The Lamb School looks forward to NCA every year, and hopefully we will see you next year in Dallas. Earlier this week, we were honored by a visit from our school's namesake, C-SPAN founder Brian Lamb. Brian was in town to interview author Ron Chernow as part of the Purdue's presidential lecture series. Chernow, a New York Times best-selling author, was here to discuss his biography of Alexander Hamilton that inspired the musical phenomenon Hamilton by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Chernow talked about what it was like to be the historical consultant for the musical and how staying relatively accurate to history was important to Miranda. Chernow also shared that he has seen the musical an enviable 60 times due to being so closely involved to the process of creating it. Brian Lamb concluded the conversation by reiterating how honored the audience was to have Chernow come to campus. In addition to his interview with Chernow, Brian spoke in Lamb School classes and met personally with students. As always, it was a pleasure to have Brian back on campus, and we look forward to your next trip back to West Lafayette. Finally this week, please join me in congratulating Lamb School professor Soren Matei, whose book, co-edited with Jeff Coleman, called Ethical Reasoning in Big Data, an Exploratory Analysis. It was published earlier this year. The book identifies the main types of ethical dilemmas that emerge when handling big data and proposes a set of principles for developing sound ethical handling of big data. Soren's work represents a collaboration with colleagues from a variety of campus units, including computer science and other social scientific disciplines. Just this week, Soren's book was featured in Dean Reingold's For the Honor series. Congratulations, Soren, and keep up the good work. Well, that wraps up another episode of Lamb School Noticings. Make sure to send your noticings to mmatson@purdue.edu and stay in touch with the Lamb School via social media. Take special care and see you next time.